You've been practicing for months, maybe years, and progress stopped. You're not getting worse, but you're not getting better either. This is the plateau, and almost everyone hits it. Most interpret it as failure, quit, then wonder why mastery never happened. But the plateau isn't a problem to escape. It's a signal, and you're about to learn what it actually means. By the end, you'll understand the consolidation principle that explains why plateaus happen and the system to break through every one. Notice something about your last month of practice. Did you measure whether anything actually changed, or did you assume consistency meant progress? Most serious practitioners make the same mistake here, and it costs them years. In a minute, I'll show you the measurement system that reveals whether you're stuck or consolidating. Real professionals know this difference, and it changes everything. The plateau arrives after your initial learning phase ends. Your brain is no longer in panic mode, scrambling to build basic neural pathways. Instead, it's consolidating what you've practiced, organizing the patterns, strengthening the connections. This feels like nothing is happening. It feels like wasted time. It's actually the opposite. Your nervous system is integrating the skill. Without this phase, any advancement you make afterward is fragile and temporary. But here's what most do wrong. They interpret consolidation as stagnation, panic, change the program, add more volume, or quit entirely. They destroy the very process they need to trust. The research on skill acquisition is clear on this point. Consolidation requires time, rest, and patience. It's not exciting, it's not visible, but it's mandatory. A guitarist stuck at 95 beats per minute for 3 weeks isn't broken. His nervous system is organizing the motor patterns, strengthening the muscle memory, preparing for the next adaptation. If he increases the tempo now, he reinforces the current ceiling. If he maintains tempo with perfect focus for 2 more weeks, the next session often reveals a 5 to 10 BPM jump without conscious effort. The sleep between sessions does the work. His brain doesn't get credit. This is where most practitioners lose years. Pay attention to what I'm about to explain. The plateau phase has a specific structure, and most people don't see it. The breakdown looks like this. First, 4 to 6 weeks of visible gains, as your brain learns the basic pattern. This is the honeymoon phase. You see improvement every session. Your motivation is high. You feel like you're getting it. Then the pattern stabilizes. Days pass without obvious change. You hit the same wall repeatedly. This is consolidation, and it lasts anywhere from 2 to 8 weeks, depending on complexity and consistency. During this phase, your only job is maintenance and small refinements. Most catastrophically increase volume or radically change approach here. They disrupt the consolidation. Then usually between weeks 8 and 12, if you held steady, there's a sudden leap. The next tier unlocks. What felt impossible 3 weeks ago is suddenly accessible. This is the pattern most never see it because they quit at week 6 or 7, right before the breakthrough. Here's the measurement framework that separates practitioners who know they're improving from those who just hope. Track 3 metrics simultaneously. 1. Absolute performance, speed, accuracy, distance, etc. 2. Consistency of performance, how stable you are under pressure. 3. Error rate and error type, what you're getting wrong specifically. Most practitioners obsess over metric 1 and ignore 2 and 3. That's backwards. During consolidation, metric 1 stays flat, but metric 2 rises dramatically. You're more stable, your performances are less scattered, your errors become more predictable and patternable. This is data. This is proof you're improving even when the scoreboard looks frozen. A chess player stuck at 1600 rating plays worse and better randomly. After 3 weeks of focused consolidation, still at 1600, but his performance variance drops 40%. He scores in a tighter band. His errors repeat in fewer ways. That player is consolidating. He's about to jump. The untrained eye sees still 1600. The trained eye sees ready for breakthrough. This is where most people get the consolidation principle wrong. They think consolidation means passive resting. It doesn't. Consolidation is active non-improvement. Your job during this phase is first, maintain perfect focus during practice. Second, ensure adequate sleep between sessions. Third, reduce session volume slightly so you're not accumulating fatigue. Fourth, add micro variations to the same pattern so your nervous system isn't drilling identical reps. Fifth, measure consistency in error patterns, not just performance level. This isn't about doing less, it's about doing differently. A language learner stuck at conversation level for 6 weeks shouldn't practice conversation harder. Instead, isolate the 3 most common mistakes, drill them in controlled settings, sleep 8 hours, record sessions to track error consistency, take 1 extra rest day per week, same or slightly lower volume. Completely different focus. Consolidation accelerates when practiced smartly, not when ignored or attacked with more repetition. Here's the second trap: mistaking plateau for permanent ceiling. Your body adapted to your current training, but that doesn't mean adaptation is complete. It means this round of adaptation is done. The next round requires a different stimulus. This is progressive overload inside consolidation. After 3 weeks at the same difficulty level, introduce exactly 1 variable change. A weightlifter at the plateau, same weight, same reps, but add 1 second of pause at bottom position. A musician at the plateau, same song, same tempo, but add triplet rhythmic variations. A public speaker, same material, same length, but deliver to increasingly hostile mock audiences. 1 variable, never more. This creates a new adaptation demand without disrupting consolidation. The nervous system responds 2 weeks later. Measurement shows improvement again. Then it plateaus, then you add 1 variable again. This is how professionals break through repeatedly. They understand that plateaus are temporary reorganizations, not walls. Most mistake frequency for intensity during consolidation. Let me explain the difference, because this distinction saves years. Frequency is how often you practice. Intensity is how hard or focused each session is. Amateurs during consolidation increase frequency. They practice daily instead of 4 times weekly. They're drowning the consolidation phase. Flooding it with stimulus before the nervous system organized the previous stimulus, results get worse. Then they blame the skill is too hard. Professionals during consolidation maintain frequency, increase focus intensity, same 4 sessions weekly, but each session has a clearer target. The attention is sharper, the measurement is more precise, the corrections are more immediate. The nervous system processes efficiently, the consolidation completes faster. A tennis player practicing 4 times weekly at 80% focus consolidates in 12 weeks. The same player practicing 5 times weekly at 60% focus consolidates in 16 weeks and with less stable outcomes. Rest and organization are as important as stimulus. This is simple, but almost no one practices this way. They interpret plateau as laziness instead of opportunity to refocus. Reset your understanding here, because this is the dangerous part. Consolidation requires resistance to the culture of more. More hours, more sets, more variety, more intensity, more data, more analysis. This culture surrounds skill development. Everyone around you is grinding. You're maintaining. Everyone is advancing visibly. You're organizing invisibly. The psychological pressure is immense. This is why most plateau too soon. The pressure breaks them. They abandon the consolidation and return to grinding. They feel productive. They feel like they're doing something. They're actually restarting the cycle and extending the total time to mastery. Professionals resist this pressure. They track consolidation metrics, so they have proof. They communicate this phase to mentors or training partners, so external pressure is reduced. They remind themselves repeatedly, consolidation is progress. The data proves it. Everyone who reaches mastery goes through this. Most who quit never reach it. This psychological framework is as important as the mechanics. Here's what separates amateurs from professionals. Professionals are comfortable being invisible during growth. The consolidation phase has no highlight reel. There's no personal best to post. There's no dramatic transformation. There's a quiet deepening of stability, a slight reduction in errors, a refinement of consistency. This is boring. This is not Instagrammable. This is also where the gap widens. The professional player plays through the boredom. The consolidation completes. The next leap unlocks. The amateur sees the boredom, reinterprets it as failure, quits, then wonders why that player got so good so fast. They didn't. They just didn't quit at the invisible part. Picture a guitarist who learns a new finger-picking pattern at week 1. She can play it cleanly at 70 beats per minute. Mistakes are scattered and unpredictable. She's excited. Week 2, she's up to 80 beats per minute. Progress is visible. Week 3, still 80 beats per minute. No change. Week 4, still 80 beats per minute. She's frustrated. She considers switching to a different song. Week 5, she maintains 80 beats per minute, but measures error consistency. Errors reduced 60% and centralized around 2-finger transitions instead of scattered everywhere. She's not improving speed, She's organizing stability. She holds this week 6, still 80 beats per minute, errors even more predictable. She resists the urge to push tempo. Week 7, she adds one variation, plays the pattern in minor key, same tempo. Her nervous system resets slightly. Week 8, back to original pattern at 80 beats per minute. Suddenly, 95 beats per minute feels accessible. She jumped 15 beats per minute in 1 week after 6 weeks of apparent stagnation. Results vary based on daily consistency and current neurological adaptation capacity, but the pattern holds across learners. Now translate that to other domains. A golfer hitting 82 strokes per round plateaus there for 2 months. Instead of changing swing mechanics, he measures consistency. His scores range from 79 to 85. He consolidates for 4 weeks with same mechanics but tighter practice. Focus on greenside chipping and rhythm. Score consistency improves to 80 to 83. His baseline is rising. Week 6, one variable change. He plays 3 competitive rounds weekly instead of 2. The new stimulus activates week 7. He breaks through to 80 average. A coder stuck at solving medium difficulty problems in 45 minutes consolidates by same problem difficulty, but tighter time tracking per code block. After 3 weeks, he knows exactly which sections are slowing him down. One micro change refactors the slowest section in a new way. Performance lifts. She breaks through a language learner. Stuck at intermediate conversation consolidates by maintaining same weekly lesson frequency, but reducing vocabulary acquisition and focusing instead on error logging. After 4 weeks of error pattern mastery, new material integrates faster. The breakthrough comes faster. Results vary based on consistency and current skill level. Here's where the research backs this up explicitly. The spacing effect shows that learning is not linear. Compressed practice creates illusion of progress. Spaced practice with consolidation creates real adaptation. When you force speed during consolidation, you compress the adaptation. You get short-term gains, long-term fragility. When you permit consolidation, you extend the timeline slightly, but gains become permanent, skill becomes transferable. This is why self-taught musicians often plateau permanently at intermediate level. They never consolidate, just constantly restart cycles. Professional musicians consolidate each level before ascending. The time investment is similar, but the destination is totally different. One more critical detail about measurement during consolidation. You must track at least 2 metrics simultaneously. Metric 1, the obvious metric, speed, accuracy, distance, whatever. Metric 2, consistency or stability metric. If metric 1 plateaus but metric 2 rises, consolidation is happening. Most practitioners track only metric 1 and lose faith. They don't see the consolidation data. Here's the framework. Week 1, baseline 70 beats per minute speed, 40% accuracy variance. Week 3, plateau, 75 beats per minute speed, but 25% accuracy variance. Week 6, consolidation, signal 75 beats per minute speed, but 8% accuracy variance. Week 8, breakthrough, 88 beats per minute speed, 10% accuracy variance. That upward movement in consistency during the speed plateau is the proof. Track it and consolidation becomes visible. Ignore it and consolidation becomes invisible, and you quit. Pay attention to this obstacle because almost everyone hits it. During consolidation, the temptation is to quit and try something new. A different skill looks more appealing because it hasn't plateaued yet. You'll make progress there, at least briefly. This is the beginner's advantage lying to you. The new skill will plateau in 4 weeks. Then you'll be 2 skills deep, both at 40% mastery, both plateaued, both abandoned. Most people have a graveyard of skills at the 40% plateau. They quit before consolidation. They never reach 70-80 mastery. The professionals commit to 1 skill, consolidate completely, then branch. They have 3 skills at mastery level instead of 10 skills at beginner level. They're more valuable, they're more satisfied, they're more hireable, more respected, more confident. The consolidation discipline is the filter that separates surface learners from real experts. So what does a consolidation session actually look like? The structure is first, 5-minute warm-up where you review what you're consolidating. Second, 10 minutes of focused drilling on the weakness pattern from error logs. Third, 15 minutes of maintenance work at current level with perfect attention. Fourth, 5 minutes of micro variation work. Same skill, 1 tiny variable changed. Fifth, 2 minutes of measurement check. Record the consistency metric, the error type, the stability indicator. Compare to last session, no performance scoring, no trying to hit new personal bests, pure consolidation work. Sounds boring. It is. It's also the difference between reaching mastery and reaching mediocrity and stopping. Here's the common objection. Doesn't consolidation mean I'll lose momentum? No, you're reorganizing momentum, not losing it. Think of it differently. Your first phase is building the engine. Consolidation is tuning the engine. You're not stopping movement. You're making the movement more reliable. After consolidation, when you do push, the engine is ready. You advance faster because the foundation is solid. The player who consolidates properly at intermediate level reaches advanced level faster than the player who push through intermediate without consolidating. The math looks counterintuitive until you measure it over 2 years instead of 2 months. Another objection. What if consolidation is actually boredom, not a plateau? Valid question. Here's the distinction. A plateau is measured stability, with declining errors and rising consistency. Boredom is declining interest despite rising performance. A plateau is a nervous system statement. Boredom is an emotional statement. You can be bored and consolidating simultaneously. The boring part is the signal that consolidation is happening. The boredom means your nervous system isn't being surprised, which means it's organizing. If boredom accompanies rising consistency metrics, keep consolidating. If boredom accompanies declining performance and rising errors, you're not consolidating, you're disengaging. That's different. That requires a reset, not persistence. Here's what to do if you realize you've been grinding through consolidation phases without knowing it. First, audit your last 3 months of practice. Second, identify where performance plateaued but you kept grinding. Third, go back to that skill level. Fourth, implement a proper consolidation protocol, reduce frequency slightly, increase focus intensity, measure consistency, add micro variations. Fifth, time box the consolidation for 3 to 8 weeks depending on complexity. Sixth, measure your breakthrough date. Most practitioners who restart with consolidation protocol beat their previous timeline dramatically. They reach the next level in 6 weeks instead of 12 because they stop fighting the consolidation and start leveraging it. The final piece most practitioners miss: consolidation is not the same across all skill levels. Consolidation at beginner level is different from consolidation at intermediate, advanced, and expert. Beginner consolidation is about automaticity, getting the basic pattern into muscle memory. This usually takes 2 to 4 weeks. Intermediate consolidation is about stability under pressure. Your pattern works fine in practice, but breaks under competition or stress. This takes 4 to 8 weeks. Advanced consolidation is about sub-skill integration. Multiple components need to coordinate perfectly. This takes 8 to 16 weeks. Expert consolidation is about edge case mastery and transfer. This can take 16 to 52 weeks. Most people quit before intermediate consolidation completes. That's why you see so few true experts. Experts are people who stayed through at least 3 consolidation cycles. That's the definition. One final framework to lock this in permanently. Master practitioners track consolidation using what I call the stability map. Instead of progress charts, they track consistency ranges. Month 1, 40 to 90 performance range. Month 2, plateau 60 to 80 range. Tighter. Month 3, consolidation 70 to 78 range. Even tighter. Month 4, baseline, shifted up to 70 to 90 new range. The ranges are tightening and shifting upward. That's the actual picture of mastery. Most charts look like straight lines because people only record personal bests. The stability map shows the real story, nervous system organization, happening before performance jumps. Track it this way, and you'll never misinterpret a plateau again. Now here's what changes when you understand this framework. Your next plateau isn't a stop sign. It's a workspace. Your next consolidation isn't a waste, it's a lever. Your next measurement isn't just vanity stats, it's a proof system. This rewiring takes time, but within a few weeks of implementing consolidation protocol, you'll feel it. The boredom disappears because you're tracking something real. The frustration disappears because you understand the mechanics. The temptation to quit disappears because the data proves progress is happening even when the scoreboard is frozen. This is where the biggest shift happens. Most practitioners define progress as performance improvement. Professionals define progress as improvement in any metric that predicts future performance. Consistency predicts breakthrough. Error reduction predicts speed gain. Stability predicts transfer. When you measure these, every session shows progress. The plateau disappears. What remains is a clear roadmap through consolidation to break through. That's the system. That's the difference between amateurs who quit at plateaus and professionals who break through repeatedly. The consolidation principle is simple, but not obvious. Plateaus are normal and necessary. Their consolidation phase is not failure. Consolidation is accelerated by maintaining frequency while increasing focus intensity. Measurement during consolidation requires tracking consistency and error patterns, not just performance level. One microvariable change per consolidation cycle activates new adaptation. Sleep and rest are essential components of consolidation, not distractions from practice. Boredom during consolidation is a signal, not a problem. Most practitioners quit during consolidation, eliminating themselves from mastery before the breakthrough arrives. The professionals who understand and implement this framework reach mastery in similar total hours but superior timeline. They consolidate each plateau completely before ascending. They become the experts everyone else aspires to be. This consolidation lens changes everything. Your next practice session, implement one thing. Pick one skill where you're at a plateau. Measure your consistency score, your error patterns, and your performance level. Consolidate for 3 weeks using reduced frequency, increased focus, micro variations, and superior sleep. Track the 3 metrics simultaneously. Then measure your breakthrough date. Most practitioners who implement this report break through between week 4 and week 7. Results vary based on daily consistency and current neurological capacity. But the pattern holds. Consolidation works when you stop fighting it and start leveraging it. Your next level is waiting on the other side of this one. Measurement is not optional during this phase. Choose one metric: consistency score, error centralization, or performance stability range. Track weekly. Most practitioners discover they're consolidating, and consolidating will complete in 4 to 12 weeks. Knowing the timeline changes everything. Boredom becomes patience. The frustration becomes focus. The temptation to quit becomes motivation to consolidate. This is the secret. This is the system. This is how professionals become exceptional while everyone else plateaus forever. Most serious practitioners know mastery requires grinding. What they miss is grinding the right variable. During consolidation, the grinding is mental focus, not hours. It's measurement precision, not volume. It's patience with organization, not pressure on performance. This inversion is invisible to amateurs and obvious to professionals. You're now in the professional camp. The next plateau won't stop you. You'll consolidate, you'll break through, you'll continue ascending. That's the difference a single framework makes when you understand it deeply. This is the real work of skill development, not the flashy breakthroughs, not the personal bests. The invisible consolidation where 80% of mastery actually happens, where you organize the nervous system, where you build the foundation, where you prepare for the next leap. Most never see this part because they quit. You now see it. You now have the system to navigate it. Your next skill ceiling isn't a ceiling anymore. It's a checkpoint. Consolidate and break through. That's the pattern. That's the power. That's the power. That's the power.